John Sal, who's going to come in. Pretty much he's the volunteer coordinator for the statewide African American Heritage Parade. So they're the biggest African American Heritage Parade organization in the state. They do it every year. This is the 52nd annual one, and they do it. And we're going to do it in Newark on May 26th. So pretty much they want like student involvement, volunteers, so like I or me, whatever can send like student clubs. Pretty much they want volunteers to do serve as balloon handlers, carry banners, line up parade, just do a bunch of other stuff. There's an orientation for it, and everyone gets a shirt, and they have breakfast, they have drinks, and some other stuff during the day. So if anyone wants to do that,
is anyone here interested?
I can just send my thoughts. May 26th. Yeah.
Any questions? Anything anyone wants to ask Dylan? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, he kind of like couldn't come last minute.
Okay. Any questions for Dylan? Anyone? No? Okay. So moving on, just a quick reminder about Express Night. May's right there, someone's not here, but if you have any questions, you can reach out to them, obviously. Express Night is this Wednesday from 6 to 9 p.m. in the Monmouth Room here in Robeson. If you can't make it, you can only be excused from it if you have class or something like that. So we expect all of the centers to be there for the full time to help, we did training last week, so just to follow up on that training, does anyone have any questions or any confusion based on what we did when we mock-tiered MSA?
Actually, sorry. Okay, all right. So let's say someone does like a fundraising, but they want to donate it to a charity. So does that count? There's no double dipping, right? So it can either be a fundraiser or a. Okay.
So on Wednesday, I have the IFC awards, and then I also have the awards that were at JT. I'm not sure if they're like at the same time, but I will be.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss half as well because I have a final presentation for.
But if someone reschedules, like for another day, I can make it. Just let me know.
I have a question. I know last year there was like a big issue with like counting bake sales, whether they counted as events or just the money fundraise counts.
They count under the fundraising event. So fundraising is any events that they have for just themselves. So like a bake sale, basically that money that they're giving just for themselves is going to count their fundraising event, which is 10 points. So if they did that,
is there a fundraising event? Or
whereas if you have like an event where you're collecting money or you're collecting like any items, like a gift drive or whatever, you're not counting it under fundraising event, you're only counting it to whatever they donated. So if they, let's say they made like 500 care packages, they get the 500, whatever the item is, it's like divided by 2 or something, so you get the 1.
But like for example, so there is a section for fundraising event.
There is a section called fundraising, and that's like 10 points. So for each fundraising event, you get 10 points. If it's for your own organization.
So then, so say something like Rise Against Hunger, or I think that's the thing that.
So Rise Against Hunger is going to be only the amount of items that they made and donated. So they, I think they did like 5,000. So then that just goes at the full points for one and just the fundraising, the donating items.
Okay, so for example, I know like they need care packages, right? So the care packages has like a bag of rice, something like a bag of toiletries, something like that. Would each item that's in that care package count as something, or would the care package itself
There's
count?
no limit, so it doesn't really matter. It's a care package, but it's going to go under, like, they're going to get the full points if they made 5,000 and the full points is 100.
Okay. Makes sense.
No, I just want to say, I have class at 7:30, so I can come from 6 to 7:30.
That's fine. Just make sure you email Kynat so that we have a list of like all the times people aren't able to make it, so that we know that we have enough people for every time.
Also, when are we sending out the sheet to the student awards?
We sent it out to
Yeah, and Selma, you guys sent it how?
Yeah, the last day to sign up was today.
But you sent the link when?
Last week.
Last
Or
week.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. Okay. Yeah.
All right, so just a quick reminder about Express Night. any events that they're submitting for points need to be on Raider Link, and if they're not on Raider Link, it needs to be a valid excuse. Like we talked about co-hosting and how they can't submit attendance on Raider Link so that they have like Excel spreadsheets or whatever. But again, if there's any confusion, May and Selma will be there. Just call them over. It's better just ask them than to give them the wrong points. And at the end, just make sure you're telling them how many points they have, like the actual number, but don't give them any tiers. And if they ask about tiers, just tell them we haven't figured that out yet. That's something that I think me and someone will get back to them about once Ali figures out the bell curve and where everyone's tiered.
So I spoke to Jamal and he told me that a bunch of his clubs are constantly complaining that they put events on Raider Link and now they're not showing. So then, I know, I see everything, right?
Yeah.
And so then, actually, hospitality has this exact same problem with they, we've been just sort of using one by one. Just kind of
And they're
hassle.
staying.
I don't know, I have no idea now yet, so we just are dealing with this problem after today. So that's all I want. So, but I don't know, according to Jamal, whether his other clubs that have the same issue, whether they're going to possibly upload, because he said he was gonna talk to SGA. Did you talk to any of them? No. So, did Jamal talk to him? No. So because he said like a bunch of his clubs are experiencing this, and I don't know how those clubs are handling it. I don't know whether those clubs are re-uploading or whether they're just pretending it's not an issue and it's just like
So question, did you guys indicated in the email, obviously you said it a million times in announcements, but you guys indicated in the email in writing as well that nothing outside of Raider Link is going to be counted, right? So we're giving orgs are equal. Yeah, so we're giving orgs the ability to upload anything, like they can upload things afterwards, that's fine.
Yeah.
It's just so that we have that centralized like process, a centralized system, that we're not like running around saying, okay, well here's a sheet and like here's this, and then you don't know like kind of propounding things twice or everything's getting jumbled up. So everybody has that opportunity to still upload things now. Like if they want to upload an event that happened like the beginning of the semester, right now they still can do that. And I think they indicated that on the email as well. And then there's obviously the appeals process afterwards, so if any issue like that comes up, then I think that we should stick to, I mean, it's up to you guys, and obviously you guys can discuss and whatnot, but I think we should stick to not counting it and then allowing them to have that appeal process afterwards.
Maybe.
But what do you
see
guys-
him today, so I'm gonna see them all today, like at one, so I'm gonna have to ask him whether any of his clubs are like trying to solve that problem or whether they're just doing what he's been telling them to do.
Yeah.
But I think he told them to talk to SGA, which I would assume is May and Selma, but I don't know whether they did that. They didn't do that, right? No clubs came to you saying like their stuff isn't showing on their link.
No.
Maybe if they can, are you guys able to send out like a follow-up email saying, like if you guys have, or like we heard that certain organizations, events aren't showing up, if you guys are able to re-upload those events so that they can be up there, or even just saying, make sure all your events, like a reminder, make sure all of your events are up on Raider Link because nothing else will be counted.
We can send a follow-up email saying that, just a reminder, we're not accepting anything off of outside of Raider Link.
And then also just including like the fact that you can add like events from the beginning of the semester now.
Okay.
And maybe say something along the lines of if you're experiencing any issues with Raider Link, as of right now, please contact SGA prior to Express Night.
Because we also want to minimize
So that there's
appeals
no
for
one
next
comes in,
semester,
exactly, so
so.
nobody comes in on Wednesday, and it's just like, so my Raider Link's not working, but
Yeah.
that's not my fault.
Yeah.
But we did agree that we would use flyers just for the post conferences and
Yeah. Co-hosting should be on Raider Link. The only thing that we're using flyers for is co-hosting too. Because Nikita was saying co-hosting shows up.
It shows up that if you're co-sponsor, like some of the events that we co-sponsor, like we're down so moved. So for any co-hosted or any events that
They need to have a flyer. Okay. That sounds good to me.
I also had a question. Might sound stupid, but is there a difference in points-wise when it comes to co-host and co-sponsor? And then what's the?
There's only 5 points for a co-sponsor event,
Yeah.
co-host to get the full points.
And is there a limit on co-host?
Yes, so.
Non-co-host is
Oh,
zero.
co-sponsor is 7.
7 for sponsorship.
Yeah.
Yes, it
Yeah,
Are there,
Anyone have any questions for me?
Well, I think after anything meets with Jamal, he thinks, still
I'm gonna text May.
Yeah.
I'll text you, right? Because I know it's an issue because I came up in a meeting with Jamal because the House Society experienced that issue where we had to put up all our events throughout the semester, and like as of like a week ago, only 2 were showing. So we were like, are you kidding? So then we went to Jamal, and he said some of his other orgs were experiencing the same exact issue. So that's why I know it's like legit.
We're accepting some things on Facebook too. We're accepting.
Yeah, I think we just need to also follow up with the advisors, because if a lot of orgs are experiencing it, then obviously we're gonna have to change the way that we.
We have a meeting with Nikita.
You do today? Okay, and Nikita also said she wants you guys to meet with campus labs, or there was like a campus labs representative to say like, for example, the co-sponsor and co-host thing, right? How can we fix that and have like an option for co-sponsor and co-host? So if you guys can go in with like some points that you have to improve like campus labs and to improve the way that it functions with our tiering system, that'd be great as well. Anybody have any other questions?
So just a heads up, like there's at least 6 organizations signed up for each time slot. Not at least, at most. 6 organizations, but for like the beginning from like 6 to like 8 o'clock, there is 6 organizations signed up for each slot. So we need to have at least 6 people there at all times so that it runs smoothly. So please try to be there unless you have like a really valid excuse, but everyone should be there.
If you can't be there, again, let me know. And if you can be there for a portion of the time from 6 to 9, let me know what exact time you can be there. Any other questions about Express Night? Again, it's this Wednesday night in Monmouth Room. I'll also put a reminder in the chat Wednesday morning, but just remember that it's this Wednesday night. No other questions?
So they're gonna pull up the agenda for the Chancellor's meeting, but just an update, we are meeting with the Chancellor on Friday at 10 a.m. in her office. We're gonna be discussing a lot of the things that we've discussed throughout our meetings, any issues that students face. Like I said, they're gonna pull up the agenda right now and tell you guys the items that we have down. But we do wanna get some senators involved. We can't obviously bring in like a whole fleet, we can't bring in every single senator into the meeting. But our entire executive board will be in attendance, and we can probably bring like 1 or 2 senators on board with us. So if you're interested, you can reach out. If we get a lot of people reaching out, we're just gonna do a random draw of like 2 senators that can come. But just reach out to Najira. Yeah, reach out to Najira if you're interested in going.
So for now, the agenda items we have are moving forward, like steps for BDS, how we can carry the initiative forward. Increase in pay for graduate students and if that'll affect tuition. And then the textbook drive initiative and to see if the Chancellor's office can help us purchase textbooks for that. So if you guys have any suggestions and things we can add to the agenda, those are also welcome. Either now or later too. We have until Friday.
Oh, we sent, did you already send it?
You sent it out.
The agenda was already sent. We can add items, but if we were gonna add items, it would be by today.
So does anyone have anything that they'd be interested in adding to the agenda? Besides those 3?
Can you repeat that?
Steps moving forward for BDS, increasing graduate worker pay and how that'll affect tuition, and textbook drive initiative to see if they can help purchase textbooks.
Yeah, so to elaborate on them, the first one for the BDS thing, we're gonna ask if there's any way that we can get any disclosure on the investments that we aren't invested in. So any companies that operate in Israel or on Israeli settlements. And then also moving forward, talking about like smaller steps that we can take. So for example, getting rid of Sabra, getting rid of Coca-Cola products, small steps that we can take through our campus, and then bigger, what? Oh, yeah.
Cheers.
Exactly, right?
That's a Rutgers thing, man.
But yeah, so small steps like that to do stuff on our campus, but then obviously also looking into the future, looking ahead and doing something with those investments. And then to elaborate on the second point, it was, the second point was what? I forgot. Tuition. Oh yeah, so if you guys aren't really updated on what's going on with that, the grad students did get a raise in their pay, so they were successful in doing that after the protest, which good for them. And as well as the professors themselves got some one of the things that they were fighting against is disparity in pay between Rutgers Newark, Rutgers New Brunswick, and Rutgers Camden. And basically what they told the professors was like, if you can like find a professor and find like from a different campus, so for example New Brunswick gets paid the most obviously, find a professor from New Brunswick who has been here for the same amount of years, who has is teaching in the same department, is doing like all this other stuff, and you can find out that their pay is more than you, then we'll give you more money. Which is like, first of all, like, who are you to, like, how are you going to reach out to someone who's in that same department? How are you going to figure out how many years they've been there? Who's going to disclose their pay to you? So there's a lot of like issues with it, but yeah.
So what about hiring more professors? Did they?
So that wasn't really what they were fighting for. The union was more fighting just for pay-wise, but we're fighting for more professors. So for the biology department, like you said last time, there was the increase, 30% increase in professors, lab professors, and like lab spots. Sorry, the 30% wasn't in professors, the 30% was in lab seats, which also meant a 30% increase in the seats themselves for the lectures. And then they also agreed to hiring 5 new professors, 2 tenured, 2 non-tenured, 3 non-tenured tracks?
It was 2 tenure and 3 non-tenure.
3 non-tenured tracks. And then they also agreed to hire some part-times, and that's a lot from advocacy like that we did on like our own time. So if there is that lack of professors within other schools, I personally know that that exists in the biology department just because I am a biology student. So like I see that it happens, and I see like people who I'm friends with and all that who don't have those classes. But if our BS, for example, has that in there, it sees that as an issue as well. It's more on like the center themselves to advocate for those professors, those hires, or whatever it is. But yeah, so then we want to discuss, so going back to that, so based on like those pay raises and stuff, we want to know if that's going to affect tuition or where that money's coming from, and all of that, and just get in concrete whether or not like tuition is going to be raised because of that. And then the last thing was textbook drive. So it's been something that we're working on. We're going to be using some of SGA money to purchase textbooks that from each different, so that's the other thing. For the schools, would you guys be able to get a list of like the most important textbooks, or like the ones that all of those like first years have to take or whatever, and then we can go from there and pick like which ones we need to purchase. So if all of you guys can like get us a list by like the end of this week, honestly, maybe Thursday, Friday, and then we can look into purchasing them and moving forward with that initiative. But also seeing, so that's the other thing that we're gonna bring up in the Chancellor's meeting, seeing how we can get support from them on that. Basically, so that's all the different points that we brought up. Like I said, if you guys have any other additional points that you think are important that we didn't mention, feel free to reach out to us, any of us, and let us know, and we'll add it to the agenda.
Does anyone have any points right now that you want to add?
I'll just add something real quick. I listen to you guys all the time. All state government employees' salaries are public knowledge. You can look it up online. So if any of the teachers were asking, how are we ever going to start this process? You can just look at their name online to another professor, and or I do it for food service employees. We're taking over Rutgers Camden, and I get to see the salaries.
Yeah.
And you can see them. They're just public.
And LinkedIn is kind of a great source to check like their past experiences and make them comparable to see if they are.
It's convoluted to make them do it. But
Yeah, it's just a process that they shouldn't have to go through, but it's what it is, I guess. But yeah, and then as we said before too, we want to work more with the teachers union, so we're establishing that relationship with them. And I had talked to someone who's in the union, and she was saying that if they do decide to like do any raises to tuition, that they're behind us as well. So they'll be standing with us against that because there's a lot of money. The money can come from elsewhere. Any questions on that?
Well,
any suggestions? Yeah.
You raise your hand first.
Did you have a question, Ricky?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Was anyone able to go to the tuition hearing last one?
I was not, unfortunately, but they took a video of it, so it was live streamed, and I think they also have a video of it that I was planning on.
And I was just wondering if maybe they might have done something about that.
Yeah.
Like, just to reiterate, if there's any raises to tuition, first that the administration might blame is obviously the union and like how they like threaten them to like with their demands. And they might use the union as a scapegoat, so just be mindful about that.
Yeah.
Because it's clearly not their fault at all.
But-
$800 million in reserves. they can use, But
Yeah, exactly.
whatever, you guys are.
Yeah.
So, the textbook thing, you should probably not buy like physical textbooks, because a lot of the times a new edition comes out and the other one becomes obsolete. So like what you do is buy the e-text and rent it for the semester. It's like a cheaper option.
That's a good idea. I know.
Get your student body.
Thank you.
What do you guys think? Because I know some people like prefer having a physical textbook as well. So
But how
maybe
would
a
that
little
work?
bit of
Like,
both.
are you saying like buying textbooks that are giving it to students or giving it to the schools and making money?
To students, so basically the process would be internal, so it would be through SGA. So we were thinking of doing it to, with the Community Outreach Center. So you know how like the Student Affairs Center has that as one of their responsibilities, where it's like tiering student orgs and all of that. It would be basically put under them as a responsibility. So during the beginning of the semester, it would only be like basically a week or two that would be allocated towards the textbook drive. And it would be students like going to Google form and signing out, saying I want this textbook on a first come first served basis, and then we would give it out to those students. So it'd be like basically making like a Excel sheet of like, okay, we have these textbooks, and then assigning it to each student that signs up for it.
And how much are you guys allocating for like the school?
That hasn't been decided yet. It depends on kind of, we're gonna check
There's
back
a lot
with
that
the
goes into that
finance.
actually, because then I think a smarter way to do it would actually be the inverse, where you ask which students need textbooks, and then once you have a sign-up sheet of people who actually need textbooks, then you ask them which textbooks they need, right? Because you might have a whole bunch of textbooks that you buy, go and use the textbooks that are needed on a needed basis, don't actually need those textbooks specifically. So like you might want to do the opposite, you get a list first, a first come, first served list, and then ask those students on that list, what textbooks do you guys need, and we'll buy those textbooks for you.
That's smart, yeah. But then the other thing with that is then, like the whole process would be delayed, right? So we would start next semester.
But I'm pretty sure you could compile a list earlier than the semester, so. Like,
So over the summer, like
because
send out
because they have their schedules, most.
The other problem with that is we're not allowed to use our money over the summer. We can't access any SGA funds over the summer. So it would have to be
We
basically
don't have to buy them
everything.
until September, but we can have a list of students that we're aware of need tax funds.
But then the PO process takes a month.
Well, we can do the e-textbook for that and have like a shared drive that we share with the students like that give us their email and have the textbooks over, because e-textbooks are really cheap, they're like $30 if you find it on the right website.
And then there's free ones as well, but
multiple people can get the same exact and have the same exact website, like link to click on the same textbook. So we won't have to buy the textbook like multiple times. It will just be like
I'm
once
so
and do
curious
that
as to
like.
how we're gonna determine, like, how are you gonna know which students need and which schools?
yeah, I think from the school, so determine, not necessarily, I think a lot of students aren't able to access textbooks or afford textbooks. Especially in like the biology department, because this textbook is $250. Like I've spent $250 on a textbook before. So it's like really expensive. And I'm sure that within each school that there's enough students that are going to need those textbooks and whatnot. Determining need, I think we were planning on doing, and I don't know, if you guys don't think this is a good idea, then just let me know. But what we were planning on doing is at least like those preliminary classes that every single student in each major has to take, right? So bio classes like concepts of biology, foundations of biology, eco, whatever it is. All of those classes are like classes that biology students need to take, and those are textbooks that are like expensive. So I'm
Do
sure
you wanna
SPA
make it
students have the same
totally
thing.
free, or do you wanna make it?
We wanna make it free.
Extremely discounted?
No, we want to make it free and then like have it as like a kind of rent out process in the beginning. But if you guys think, I mean, I'm down to make it more electronic rather than having it in person, because then also there's like the logistics of having a space and where we store them, and then how are we going to get rid of old ones and bring new ones. Then I'm completely okay with putting it in like an online version. But I don't know if you guys see that as being at all difficult for students.
Would that be like a general username and password that they would go into and access it?
I'm thinking like a shared Google Drive that we share with certain.
You can put textbooks on Google Drive.
Oh.
Yeah,
But how does that go with copyright?
Yeah, isn't that
That's what I'm trying to think of, like legality.
I tried doing, Ricky and I tried doing that one.
Yeah, we did try to do that.
We can share it together.
Yeah.
But like, what's the legality of that?
I don't think it
And
is.
it's not legal.
So Dylan and I, We actually did try to be Robin last semester for our bio class, because we found, we like literally got the book from the library. We took the time to scan the whole, all the chapters that we needed, and then we were gonna share it with the whole class, but then like we got kind of like this copyright stuff. Well, we were reading and then we realized that because it's not fair use. Yeah, we didn't use it. But anyways, I did hear because it doesn't qualify as fair use. It's different if I'm letting someone borrow my book than literally uploading a whole.
I'm pretty sure
book.
it's illegal.
So it's not.
Okay,
legal.
so do you guys
It's definitely
still, okay, do you guys still think that we should do online and, no,
Half online, half
but, well, we could do some online, some physical, or there's online resources, and I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Library Genesis, but like they have like every textbook for free online. Is that like an illegal website?
Oh yeah, it's totally illegal.
Really?
Yeah.
But it's
That was illegal.
Are we
You send it on
are we
your
recording?
list,
Oh.
your Rutgers email,
No.
and they find out you did that, the school itself can get sued. If you send it through with your Rutgers email, like you use the Rutgers
Okay,
service
so I
to
think
transfer
if we
that.
want to avoid all these,
Yeah.
so I think if we want to avoid all these legal complications and all that, we should just do physical ones. Because yeah, it can get really complicated and we don't want to get sued. So, okay, so physical, everybody's good with that. And like I said, if you guys can get the list of textbooks that are necessary from your schools by Friday, is that like that's a okay deadline? Like you think that's
Yeah,
doable?
should be fine.
Chris?
Yeah.
It's like, is he there? That's Francis.
Oh,
Yeah,
You said it was the arts and sciences. Center.
Yeah, because you can tell the time
By Friday.
because there's a million majors and a million books and.
I guess you could
Oh,
say.
so you
Go
have-
by the most popular majors in the School of Arts and Sciences.
Yeah, I would go by most popular majors, and then we can also send something out
No, the
to
101
students. We can send something out to students in those schools saying like what text, or I don't know.
I feel like that's too much.
Let's just go with those, and then moving forward, when we want to grow it and whatnot, we can look into getting like those smaller majors that aren't as popular and getting those textbooks. But yeah, so Friday's good. You guys are good with that? Okay, I think we can move on.
Have you ever been to an event where you?
Kevin, you wanted to say something earlier?
Yeah, I did.
Are you sure? Okay, does anyone else have anything they want to add about this meeting?
So yeah, I just want to like talk about East Turkestan event. It's going to be going on Bergen Express night. So how are we on that?
So basically, what's helping is a bunch of other co-sponsors, so we're just relying on other people coming up. And it should be, I've seen like people excited about it, even from other campuses, like people are posting it up. I think we're one of the only New Jersey schools that he's coming to speak at. So yeah, it should be good. Does everybody know about that event, or at least the background of it? The other event we're having on Wednesday? Sure. So like a quick background and jump into one to fill in. So in part of China, there's been like persecution of a certain ethnic group, like ethnic Muslim groups called the Uyghur Muslims. So they've been, it's crazy. Like I remember Sabrina first told me about it, and I was like, no, that's not real. Like no way that could happen in like today's like world. And it's like legit like concentration camps. Like they're literally being put in concentration camps. They're forced to chant like China or communism is. Yeah, and denounce Islam, eat pork, which is, you know, if you guys don't know, it's forbidden in like religion of Islam. And then among that, what's getting even scarier is, so there's a lot of Western universities unknowingly, I guess, help them develop like DNA and facial recognition technology on these Uyghur Muslims. So there's been a lot of, for the first time in, I guess, like modern history, their DNA is being recorded and just being processed. And their facial recognitions are in now too, where you could, if they're walking outside of certain boundaries, the cameras will just recognize them, and then the government will find out. So it's just super wild. Like it's insane. Like it sounds fake. It sounds like literally something out of 1984.
Yeah, and they're harvesting like organs and selling them, like of the like it's literally, it's crazy what's going on, and it's happening like in our world. Like you wouldn't think that something like that would happen today.
It's something like 2 million.
Yeah, it's like 2 million Muslims that are affected by it.
It's not
so
small number.
Yeah, it's not at
2
all
million
small.
people.
Yeah. So what we kind of worked on, and the majority, like pretty much MSA really put everything together. We just talked about it a bit. But so the prime minister of that part, it's called East Turkestan. So the part of the geographical area where that's happening is based in DC. So he has like an organization in DC, and he's been speaking at a few schools. Just spoke at, I think, Duke, a few like high level, I think Georgetown. He also spoke at a few other schools.
So, For, yes.
When is that?
So it's Wednesday, 6 o'clock.
This Wednesday?
Yeah. So the problem was we tried doing it earlier, and then there's another event with the Chancellor office had another event, and then and then his availability was also like really limited. So unfortunately, we couldn't.
It'll be recorded though, so
Yeah.
if anybody does want to watch it, or we can like send it out to everybody afterwards. Okay, moving on to the carnival. So the carnival was a little bit of a mess, and that's an understatement. But there were a lot of things that just went wrong. A lot of like balls that were dropped, and we apologize for that. And we want to know, like, obviously moving forward, something like that isn't going to happen. But I guess any suggestions, or specifically from Ricky, Sarah, who I know were at the carnival like the entire day, basically.
So I'm gonna start. So I just feel like with the planning of this, like we, like with this Carnival week and everything, it was changed so many times that like I know the commuter at large large senators were trying to like work around their events the same time as Carnival week and the Carnival so they can do their tabling, and that was like really got messed up. But we have like, I want to say like 18 senators plus the e-board, and no, like when I say no one was there, like no one was there. It started at 1 and I left because I couldn't do it because I was meeting with the Office of Community Standards to work for the de-stress class that we are sponsoring. And so I walked outside and I like saw Dylan like setting up and everything. The tables were not set up, the tents were not set up. And I understand like it's hard to plan events and everything, but with an event that big, with that much liability and that much of a scene, like it needs, everyone needs to be on the same page, and not only the E1, but the Senate too, because we're here, like for the past year, we've all been talked about. And I also like want to bring up the last tabling that I did on Thursday. But like for example, like I went at 1:30, which was like already past the start of the carnival, and out of SGA, I was the only one, and then I had my friends that saw me struggling to like, because everyone was like heard free stuff, they all started playing. And then by the time that we got the shirts and everything, like still again, no one was there, and by the time 3 o'clock came, we, like Dylan and Ricky did sign up for shifts, and they were only responsible for the shifts that they did sign up. But I didn't sign up for a shift because I wasn't able to, but I ended up getting stuck there for 5 hours and missing my meeting with the Office of Community Standards and missing the stuff that I had to talk to the nursing school for SGA. And we had like a homeless man that was like trying to keep like in and out of our tent, trying to like hug everyone that was there, which was like one, public safety, like that's just not right. But no one was there to like help with the tent, go call RUPD or call reservations or anything. So that was one thing. Another thing is someone their shoulder got dislocated. So who's gonna handle that? Because the guy, like, they were doing, I guess they were doing their job, but like out of everyone, I understand we have finals, I understand we have work, I understand we have like so many things going on, but no offense to anyone, it's not my job to carry everyone else and what they're supposed to do, because we were all elected to do our stuff and maybe do someone else's, but not every time. And I just feel like it could have been like the communication from the board to us, from us to each other, and that could have been a lot better, because now we have someone that was injured. People could have been injured, and it could have gone worse. And the rain and everything just did not go well. And after someone got their shoulder dislocated, we turned around and like this little girl was crying because her brother left her. So there was that we needed to take care of. And like 2 or 3 people can only spread themselves so much without so that's that.
Literally the worst case scenario that you can expect. Any type of event that we can host, it happened. It happened at the worst moment. And like I understand, just to add Sarah's point, like I understand that there are 18 senators, but I wouldn't want to shift the blame at all the senators as well.
Right.
Because there was a lot of organization of that whole carnival to begin with. The date, the logistics was just really felt off to begin with. Because there's no music, it didn't feel like a carnival. It felt like there was not a lot of people. And, it was pretty deserted. But I think definitely for next time, there definitely has to be a lot planning for any type of big events like this, carnivals or anything like that, that definitely has to be like months in advance. A good date, where we can actually have music, actually have like some type of carnival vibe, because like that, just that whole thing was just, oof. It was not, it wasn't good at all. And also I just think that, you know, like, I know like there's finals coming up, I know we have classes and stuff like that, but we signed up to be part of the SGA. We knew that there was gonna be some sacrifices we needed to do. We needed to make, you know, being part of the SGA, and if you can't do it, then, you know, why sign up in the first place?
Right. So another thing I'm gonna add, like so as you guys all know, like we've been talking about it's either people don't know about us, or that people that do are in SGA, or the other person that do, they just don't like what SGA is. And as a senator, I just feel like it was up to us, and you know, Igor and I know you guys agree, is that we need to make our image look better, and we need to create more transparency. And so I took the initiative of tabling to, again, bridge the gap between students, which was like basically what our goal is for this year and next year. And so that was last Thursday from 11 to 4. And again, I understand I took the initiative, but I'm not the only one that's being talked about, because all of us are in this. And so it started at 11, but I still needed to make the poster. So by the time that I also ordered food, by the time that I went downstairs, the food was gone because it was too late. So like $300 was like down the drain. And that was so annoying. But after that, for like 11 to 4, again, no one showed up. But, you know, Karina, me, and Ricky and Bill. So it's not only my image, because people don't know who the new student senator is. People don't know who the media senators are. It's our image as the entire SGA. And if, like, we can only work so much before we get burnt out, and I'm scared for next year, no one's going to pick up that. And we're just going to be here again. Election season's going to come up again, and then we're going to have the whole issue. So one thing that I want, and like again, I'm not coming at the E-board alone, I'm not coming at the Senate alone, but we all need to work together to make the best out of student experience and student life, which is our mission, and to increase student involvement, because we tried to get 10% of the voting of people to vote, we didn't get that. We barely got 6%. And that is really, really scary, because we need everyone, because people are paying for this. They don't know that, but they are. Like $18,000 a year, and a lot of it's community. So.
Does anyone else have anything to add? Questions?
I guess I'll comment real quick. I completely understand your frustration, and I think it shouldn't have happened that like all of us weren't there. From my end, I was studying. I just want to be clear, you know, I should have been able to give my time to SGA, but also like when you guys reached out, it was like at the end to schools, whereas like throughout the whole like carnival, like no one, like I didn't know the whole situation until the end when we got that message, and like the group
And that was when it happened.
Right, so I'm just saying, like, throughout, like, if you guys were feeling frustrated, if you felt like no one was there, like, even if it was me coming down for an hour, like, I would have done that and given up my study time, but I didn't know that you guys were experiencing this until after. So, like, if we, like, I just think that we just need to look at the way we're communicating with each other, because even after, when I saw the way people were talking to, like, the e-board, it's like, all right, but it's not just on the e-board, like, it's all of us, and we all signed up for this, right? But, like, how are we, like, let's look at the way we're talking to each other and communicating to each other, so that's in a more helpful manner, I think.
I think also one of the things that just immediately came to mind right after the carnival happened and all this happened is probably sounds this like right after an event. If we're going to have an event, right, just like any organization would, if we're going to have an event, we need to make sure that there's people available to run the event. If there's no one available to run the event, then we shut down. Then there should be no event, right? Any one of us, this is intuitive when it comes to our own organizations on a smaller scale when it's not SGA, that you think, oh, who in if no one on your e-board can make it, right? And I'm not saying like e-board in the sense, but like we're like all the people in charge of this organization. And so if none of us can make it, the event shouldn't happen in the first place. The fact that Sarah wasn't even signed up to do it, and then she ended up having to fill in that gap, that's because no one was signed up. There were, except for Ricky and Dylan. So if there aren't enough people to run something, and an event like Carnival, right? So like if we're having like, I don't know, like for Top Society, if we're having an event that's supposed to bring in 150 people, we would want everybody on the e-board there. Not everybody, like all 7 of our e-board members there. If it's a carnival at that scale, like I would think you need like 8 or 9 or 10 senators to sign up, and if you don't have that number of senators signed up to be in charge of the event, then the event falls through and then you reschedule for another time. So it's just something that, it's not that I think we had it and then it went poorly. I think it's something that shouldn't have happened in the first place. We shouldn't have an event if there aren't people available to run the event, right? It's a very logical, intuitive thing. And if you don't have people to run the event, don't have the event. It's just, it shouldn't have happened.
And I just want to comment back to minutes. Like, I understand what you said, but like, just imagine being in that position. I don't think the first idea I would have gotten is to just reach out to everyone, because where are you? Because I would assume, like, because we all knew this was happening, and if you could make it, then you would have made it. But,
Right, so-
And also, although the sheet was out a little later than we expected, the sheet was out, and there was, everyone, you can see who signed up for what. And you can see that it was only, officially signed up on the sheet, was just delivered at the last hour. No empty slots for the rest, the 30-minute shift, so I don't know if, yes, we could have reached out to GroupMe, but there was the assumption that everyone saw that Google sheet, and everyone saw that there was a lot of open slots. So we just assumed that you were, no one was able to go or something like that. So yeah, that's that assumption.
Right, I mean, I'm just going back to like what I said, like I was studying, and I think school comes first for everybody here, like school first and then organization comes second. So I'm just saying, like, if it were the case where like, okay, like this is crazy and no one's downstairs, like I would have sacrificed my 1 hour, an hour and a half, whatever, to come down and help you guys. So I'm just saying, like, we're all here to help each other, and we're all here as an organization to make the organization better. So just always reach out to help, always feel free to reach out to everybody else, because we're all here to help each other.
Does anyone else want to add anything? So we'll start with Senate updates then. So kids are undecided.
Could I actually just, could I just say something like that? Yeah, so I just want, those are all concerns are 100% valid and all very valid there. Just quickly, I want to stretch that too long, but I just want you guys to know as a Senate too that us as a board will all, we're going to meet later today actually when we have our weekly meetings and assess between ourselves too, what we could have done better. And to ensure, I think, and I think it's important, I think we all agree on this, is to see, some of us are going to be here, we're all going to be here again, and then, and how we can fix this in the future, right? So if we have this event again, or if we have different type of events, right? What could have gone differently and run different type of scenarios. I think Ricky brought up a point. I think it's also important, and I think myself included, we usually figure this is how to act in worst case scenarios, right? So just understanding that things can go bad, right? But how would we act in a situation where certain things, don't go the way we not go the way we assume they will. So we'll again reassess, but yeah, we'll continue to do what we can.
Thank you. Do you guys know what happened to the kid that did this officially?
Maybe he went to the hospital.
It's that, yeah. So they would strap you and you have to go. Yeah.
You have to run and it pulls you
It was
back.
probably relocated.
I wonder if we distract well enough because they weren't really checking to make sure as well.
That's another part of school.
Yeah.
That's what I was hearing from some students.
Yeah, that they didn't.
Like the vendor they weren't keeping up to safety standards. Some students were saying that,
Right.
they were just putting the equipment is on, they were just, they didn't really care. And when the student asked the person that was running the thing, oh, is this on right? He's like, oh, I don't know, I hope so.
Yeah, also
that, I mean, that too,
right.
was pretty bad.
Did they-
The vendor was
Did we have to
Well, it was any excuse for a party, the Rutgers always uses them. It's
So maybe that's
Okay, so
specific,
yeah.
we'll bring it up to them, but they're usually known for, I'm not saying that wasn't true, but they're usually known for high quality standards, but I think that, this was a
And
nice.
they the students need to sign a waiver or something in order for delay?
No, usually, I don't know legal, but we've usually never, even when Rutgers, university does these type of things, they don't.
Yeah.
I think we could kind of ask them for some of these kind of things, so.
We'll take care of
I
it.
don't know. It's like, when
It's
the
like that
waiter
story.
messes up, you get a free dessert or something.
If
It's kind of a different scale, but.
Thank you, Ollie.
Save some money.
Okay, so we can go for Senate updates so that we
Send it
can
back
come out too late. So Francis,
Can you just, when you're talking about Senate, just mention what senator you are?
Senator, we don't be having surveys, we just have to meet up with the departments to follow up to see if, because they needed to hire one more person to see if they're going to hire them or not, and to see if any sections were open for the next semester studies or.
Spot senator, so we're still trying to use our funds to create the, to bring in more books for the spa library, which is a little bit different from what you guys are doing. Instead of giving actual physical books to students, the students will go inside, use it for that period of time, and then bring it back. But I think incorporating the library and then also giving students physical books, I think it will work out good.
Chris, CJ School. So I know the CJ Club was able to have a good bake sale last Thursday. So I'm happy I was able to achieve that. The last thing is we're gonna have like a resume workshop in the CJ School, I believe, this Thursday. I'm just gonna probably message Dylan or Ricky and try to promote that.
For me, I don't have updates, but I just would like to tell Sarah and Ricky and Goodman, I apologize about what happened at the event. I just had class in the morning and office hours and then lab again at night, so I think I was booked, but if I didn't know, I would have like canceled office hours or something, but I just didn't know about the event that day. So I just like to apologize to you guys again, you shouldn't have to go forward.
Dylan, media, no real updates besides, I guess I'll send that email to the student works about parade, keep posting for Express Night.
Sarah, Senator, but I have a question. Do you guys know what happened to them?
Yeah, he quit, man.
Kind of reached out to him and he said that he said he would make the last few meetings, which would be this one and next week's.
Okay.
And he's.
I know you signed up for the vaccine too, and you guys did the last recent times.
I know he has like pneumonia like 2 weeks ago, so I don't know. I think he's good. Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, new student senator. So as I said, we're sponsoring the Stress Fest. The kickoff is this Wednesday. So we're gonna have like a station, and we're gonna have like coloring books, little goodie bags, and I'm also teaming up with the at-large senators to work to like give out food stuff. And that's this Wednesday, and then Thursday we're gonna have a. Oh, never mind. So May 9th, I think that's Thursday. We're gonna have a We Scream for Ice Cream social. So we're gonna have a lot of ice creams and make your own sundaes. And then we're also gonna have a movie night. May 9th, where I'm coming up with the School of Nursing because they already have the St. Rose Plaza Reserve. So whenever they I'm still trying to contact with them. They have not responded. But yeah, I think that's it. And yeah, wait. So I follow William Patterson on their SGA account, and turns out they have a lawyer for their SGA. I don't know why. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't. How would that work?
I can ask my friend is the president of SGA.
Yeah. So you could ask.
What's like the purpose of the word?
It's just a legal lawyer, and I was just like, yeah, right, this is obviously, like, when you guys brought up the legality of it, I was just like, oh, maybe like, a lawyer, they could figure that out, but, yeah.
I'll talk to her and let you know.
Okay, thank you.
Following up on the DHS, do you need any help from SGA?
Yes, so on Wednesday, like I said, the LR senators are doing it, and that, so, I'm just I'm doing a poster that says I will, and then I'm gonna put I will take care of myself, or I will leave, blah blah blah, and then we're gonna have people connecting the dots. So I would need help with that, and I appreciate if Wednesday morning I'm gonna need a lot of help because I ordered food stuff off of Amazon, and the goodie bags I got a lot of snacks and the things 90s. So I got Findits, I got Cheez-Its, a lot of the old OG snacks. So I'm gonna need people to
Wait, Wednesday, May what?
May 1st, so that's the day of the kickoff. If people are free in the morning, we can meet up in the SGA office and put them together.
So can you send all the times that you need
Yes.
to the JIRA or who wants to do it? JIRA and then
I'll do it.
So Kainat, send it to Kainat, and then Kainat will make a sign-up sheet for senators for those times. So send her the times and then the amount of.
And I'd also need people to the ice cream social, because I'm gonna be fasting, and I just think it's gonna be really hard for me to handle the ice cream. So, please, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
I am free Wednesday morning.
Okay, alright, perfect.
Okay. Oh, you.
Yeah, so just an update, not necessarily from like meeting standpoint, other than, you know, we're using Cal to its fullest, but,
People's camera.
Oh, the people's case.
anyways, when, it's more, I guess it's more of a question, because next Monday is the last meeting, right?
Mhm.
Is it, like, you know how like with other student organizations, like with the new.
Yeah, that's the next point. It's not, it's,
That's
oh,
it.
it was up there.
Also, we already
That's the
bring it
next
up?
point that we're
Okay,
talking
cool,
about,
and
yeah.
also,
Okay.
what about appointments for like the university senate?
I was just gonna say that, I have, that was gonna be the next thing, I was gonna ask you guys for further nominations. We got a few for, oh, not for University Senate, but we got nominations for like
Yeah.
normal SGA senators. For University Senate, I've only gotten one nomination that I have to send to Dean Williams for approval, but that's the only one I have, and that's for a spot. So every other position is fair game. But I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think the agreement we reached last time in our meeting was that we were gonna ask the senators if they're available, and if they're not, then we'd recruit for University Senate.
Well, that's the elected senators.
Yeah, the ones that are already elected.
Yeah, so, but we need to nominate by next meeting.
Okay, so I'll reach out to all the new ones and ask if they're available on Fridays, and
Yeah.
if they're not, then we find people to.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm only saying this because like May 3rd is the reorg meeting for the University Senate, so that's when all the new senators are like sworn in and stuff like that. So like, I guess we're off to a rough start, and also there's I'm in a group chat, and like they put apparently there's like an executive committee that students are from each school are able to attain. And in Newark, it says no nominee and election may need to be held in September, October for this position.
So an executive committee?
Yeah, so I have,
Separate from University Senate?
it's part of the university center. Yeah, so there's like a lot of stuff that we have to like probably research and figure out what this is all about, because like, you know.
So from what, I'm sorry, from my understanding is that when the University Senate hearings are in our school, the person that is in the executive committee
That's-
leads the,
Oh, so it's like,
meeting.
okay.
So they're the chair of that day.
Okay.
Yeah, I just wanna add, so I am I wanna do University Senate, and it's supposed to next year, so, because I was elected as the South Senator, so going in, I freed my schedule just in case no one else was elected, so from the looks of it, I would think we will be, especially by next meeting, by next University Senate, so, yeah.
So you're saying you are interested in voting?
Could put me in a-
What's your position? Next year?
Media center.
Media.
But,
But we
yeah,
need three
that's the other,
ideas.
yes.
Yeah. Okay, so then we only need one more in Sassen. I think there's, I know,
I'll talk
have a
to
nominee.
I know, like, we have dated Carolyn, so I'll talk to her if she's available on Friday next year, and then I'll be back.
Regarding,
Tammy.
For your diversity at your holiday update, I do want to apologize for not being able to help out during Carnival. I had work, but I did have the hour, half an hour that I could have volunteered to share.
All right, so.
Wait one second. Can we talk about the transition real quick, because that's really important, and we can have 45 minutes.
so next week, I'm gonna put this in the group chat with all the new senators that were elected. But I'm gonna invite them all to come into our meeting next week so we can start transitioning them into your roles. And a big part of that is, you know, we'd like for you guys to meet with the people that are taking your positions and, you know, talk to them a little bit about what you've been doing, any initiatives that you're working on that you've completed or any that are still open that they can work on next year. So basically just kind of helping them get comfortable in their role. And we want them here next week so they can really see how SGA meetings run, they kind of get a feel for everything. And then we can also confirm some new senators next week, hopefully, which is why I'm looking for recommendations.
So also next meeting, on top of that, we're gonna have the committee updates, so the final committee updates, whether or not you think that we need to continue as committee committees for the next semester, if there's any like projects that you're still working on, stuff that you've already done this semester. And then also if everybody can have, and Hannah will send this out in chat as well, but if everybody can have like a list of things that they want to pass on to senators after them. So obviously we're gonna invite all the senators to come, but some of them might not come and some of them might not get information from you guys. So I'm gonna have like a Google Doc full of just like documents from each senator that was before you so that I can give them out to the senators that are coming into your position, just so they have like something to start off on, right? Like a base of like, this is what the person before me did. So this is like kind of an idea of what I should be doing during the semester, or if they want to continue in any initiatives that you started, or if they want to just get ideas out of like what you've done. So just like a short document, doesn't have to be long, like it could just be bulleted, doesn't have to be like paragraph form. There's no like structure to it, but just as long as you have like tips and pointers for people that are coming after you. And then also if you guys want to send us, the executive board, tips and pointers, most of us are coming back, except for Abby, unfortunately.
Just little tips and pointers, feel free to share.
Yeah, but anything, constructive criticism would be really appreciated, and so that we can improve also for next year and everything that we do. If you guys have any pointers about like what we should tell senators about, if you guys were confused about anything throughout the semester, processes, like POs, whatever it might be, just let us know so that we know. And then also, like I said, just that document for people who are coming into your positions next semester.
So for the nominations that you sent me, I know you sent me 2 for CJ and you sent me 1 for SASA. Someone else sent me a CJ nomination, I'm not sure who it was. They're all eligible, so they can come in next week. I'll also follow up with them formally through email, but they can come into our next meeting and kind of just do a brief like bio, and then we'll vote on them, ask them questions if you have anything.
Do you need the resumes?
We can send out their resumes to everyone. So yeah, I would send, if they can send their resumes to the SGA, especially if they're contested. I know Carolyn isn't contested, but the CJ ones are all contested, so that we can send out those.
So we'll do it like how we did the judicial council thing, where I sent out all the resumes to all of you, so you guys have an idea of who they are before they come in, and then we'll do the same one.
Quick question, you said something about a presentation for next week?
Yeah, presentation for your committees.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So just make sure you have something, just to wrap up the year, what you've done throughout the entire year. If, like I said, if you think that those committees are still necessary for next semester, so that we can also look into creating those committees for next year and seeing what we should have and what we shouldn't. I think our time is up. Did you have something to say?
Just a quick update from the scholarship. It's pretty much done. We're going to do like 5 $1,000 ones and potentially one $2,500 one. If anyone wants to contribute their Senate money,
I was gonna say, did you guys agree with that?
okay. I still have to talk to my e-board about like the budget in detail, but it most likely will get approved. So if anyone has any kind of, so a lot of senators haven't used their money yet. If you guys want to kind of contribute to either that or the food pantry or Nadia's event, just send me a message and let me know. I just like to document everything. That's pretty much it. So we're leaving it pretty open to apply for the scholarship. Like literally almost anyone can have the application. So you have to show some sort of leadership skills, whether it's through a part-time job or extracurricular, internship, sport. I don't care what it is. Just show some sort of break. What's up? Yeah, so GPA requirement is pretty low. We're not going to be too strict about that. It's going to be 2.5. And then the committee is going to get together and kind of decide based on their financial needs, based on what they write and communicate to us who's going to get the money.
And the committee was already formed for it. Like the people who volunteered before, we have your names down, and that's who will be reviewing all the applications. If you did not volunteer before and are interested in doing it, raise your hand, I guess, right now. No? Okay, everybody, okay, so yeah, so everybody who did express interest will be reached out to by Adam.
So like what's the minimum, and I think what's the deadline? Like if I were to like say use my funds, like what's the minimum I can get
For what?
for the scholarship?
Try and get that information to me by the end of today.
There's no minimum.
So there's no minimum, it's your money, but just try and get that information by the end of today. Yes, I want to have everything finalized.
Do you have a material for the 5K, or do you have a thing when we about 2,000?
So technically we have it. The only thing I need to go over is potential more spendings for the semester and see if like the budget permits. Does that make sense?
Okay, I think, well, actually, time's up. So we'll do hearing at a public real quick.
Okay, I'll go first because I have a hi everyone. So you all might be aware that SARU, or has anyone heard of the SARU survey? Yes? Okay. Have you all completed it? We've done it. So this year, Rutgers University Newark is responsible for ensuring that a certain percentage of our campus responds to the survey, and we only have a few days left before the survey closes, and our response rate has been really low. So I think student government as a whole has in the past helped promote the survey. And so I would like to ask the senators and the executive board and the media senators if you all can help with promoting it on social media to get students to actually complete the survey, because essentially the data that's collected will be utilized to inform decision making in the future. And these are really important topics. Overall, this is really about the student experience. And so we want to be able to have a clear understanding of what students actually experience here at Rutgers Newark, and we can't do that without a sample that is statistically significant.
Isn't there like something that's given out by the Chancellor's office to incentivize or?
Yes, so you can enter yourself in to win gift cards that are the giveaways, but then also there's nothing preventing, for instance, student government, if you all are doing tabling like commuter awareness or appreciation week, you all can also incentivize it through that as well, because essentially it's it should be a priority for our campus. So you can incentivize, and I guess that's what my ask is that are there ways that we can help to promote this in other spaces? We're gonna do it through De-Stress Fest, student involvement awards, but if there are other spaces that we can do it, let's take advantage.
When's the deadline?
So I know that last week on Thursday, they said we had 10 days left. So I think at this point, this week. Yes, yes.
Do you know how much we're missing?
I don't. But I know in order for it to be statistically significant, we want to get into the 20% range, and that's of all of our undergraduate students. Okay, so I'll send out information, and if you all can kind of help to promote, spread word, and there's also tabling on student streets about it.
So with that, we have the stuff that came in, so we have hats and stuff, so we can have people during the Community Appreciation Day take a survey and then give them the hats.
Right.
That would be great.
Yeah, so that's what I was gonna just say. So like with the kickoff for first, like the more people we have, so like for example, let's say I'm gonna handle the de-stress stuff, then Nadia will handle the computer appreciation, and then someone else will handle whatever they fill it out, then you can then
You can.
whatever. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
All right, I'll send you the, did you, some of you received the information?
Yeah.
All of you received it?
I think so.
Okay.
Can you, if you could just resend it.
I'll resend it.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you all.
Stuff beyond filling the positions I selected, like in CJ school and the spa.
That's what you're talking about. So we have nominations for CJ, we have nominations for SASN. I think we're missing for SPA. You have two?
No.
Oh, yeah, we're missing two positions for SPA.
They're gonna like present in front of all of you on next
Next
Monday?
week, yeah.
Okay.
Just, we have to
But,
check
yeah.
for eligibility from Dean Williams, so just let me know if you have any.
Yeah. You have people or?
I know
Oh,
Carolyn
yes.
wants
Okay.
to run for
Yeah, we have her for
No,
SASN.
she's approved already.
Okay, others got.
So if anybody, you guys, we really need SPA. We need at least one person for SPA.
Yeah,
So if anybody knows anybody at all that's in the SPA school
We're gonna
that,
have a meeting with the deans, and we're gonna do like send out an email to the school itself, and then from there, they're gonna.
cool. Do you think you can get us the dean by like Thursday so we can get it approved by Dean Williams?
I'm gonna try.
Okay. All right. Okay, cool.
Anybody else?
Ryan, anything?
I got a ton of stuff, but your time is valuable, so I'll hit you with just three things. One, you feel free to put the textbook collection stuff in the dining hall if you like, they're always in there, and you can always use it. Also, feel free to use the pancake breakfast as meet the SGA or something. You don't have to do anything. I've already got servers. You just walk the lines glad-handing like most politicians do. Everyone is there. I don't want to spend your time for you, but every single person in the world is there. We're doing some pancake breakfast stuff. The Commuter Appreciation Day last week, the two young ladies are not here, but I hope it went well because Annabella's got some good stuff for it. And let me sponsor your lunch. Oh, and by the way, if you go to the Chancellor on Friday, they say to you, well, who's the nicest person in the committee that helps you guys out? Well, dining is always. So,
It's true.
reach
Thank
out.
you. All right.
Let me know what you need.
Motion to adjourn.
All right. See you guys next week. Last meeting. Be ready to present.